guys, is there a camouflage record behind me? Because today we're going to be reading The Wild Robot Against the Recos. Wild camouflage. I'm going to be checking. Let's get on to it. Our story begins with Roz and Brightbill running away from the camouflage Recos. Roz had a good idea. She wants to go to Peru. Roz ran to the airport, and right before the plane left, Roz and Brightbill jumped on the Recos. The plane. Recos tried to climb up, but they fell. Roz said, "This plane is nicer than the ship we took." "Yeah," said Brightbill. The higher they went, the more Roz saw a weird object in the air. Got higher and higher until Roz noticed it was the Recos. They took a different plane. The Recos jumped on the top of the plane, so Roz had no choice. But she did have one. She jumped the plane window and got Brightbill and jumped off the plane. On the way down, she clicked her slide and she got a parachute. She clicked her slide and she got a parachute. She landed in Peru, but she was lost. They landed in the forest, not any kind of forest, an Amazon forest. It was wet and cold there. There were rivers and trees, creatures and animals, but it was dark. Good thing Roz had night vision, but Brightbill does not. Roz walked through the trees and vines and swamps. Walked through the trees of vines, the swamps, and the grass. In the morning, they could see better. They saw a sign. It said 5 miles straight, 2 miles left, then canyon. So they followed the signs, mile by mile. Finally, they got to the village. A small one, called the Amazon village. There were no houses on 3 each row. There was 10 houses, 3 on each row and 1 in the middle. Roz asked a villager, "Where is the canyon?" 2 miles? 2 miles that way," said the villager. Roz and Brightbill ran into the forest. Roz knew what to do. She gathered mud and put it on herself, body and arms, legs, and then got grass, twigs, and put it all over her. "Now, Brightbill, you can call me the Rozaflage Camouflage Wild Robot." They started going through the forest and water. She passed grass fields, then she found her compass. The canyon was north. She was going east, so she started to go north. Not far, she saw a stream. She jumped over with her mud on Brightbill. Brightbill noticed a plant. There were 3 plants next to each other. The ones that did not look the way, that were the only bushes in the forest. Until they noticed it was not a bush. It was the Recos! Roz got down and blended in with the leaves. The Recos sneaked quietly past Roz. The Recos were not that camo in the rainforest. Soon the Recos saw Roz. Soon Roz saw the Recos. This time she didn't power blast. She had a perfect idea, but she had to wait. At the moment, she ran as fast as she could. She knew everything, and something bad is coming. It's horrible. Something horrible. And she could only do one thing about it. But first, she needed another bird. We also need a better charger. So we need to get out of the Amazon rainforest. The closed airport is 2 miles away. But then Roz realized there was no way out of the forest. It was too big. She started to run and run and run and run. With Brightbill flying with her, she knew the Recos were going to think, what's going to happen? She knew it was really bad. She wanted to know what it is, but it was bad. All the Recos, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11, and 12 are going to come to life. That's why she didn't hurt the Recos. Roz needs a better charger, but first she needs to know where it is. Roz and Brightbill walked through the forest. Mile by mile, it got harder. I wonder why, said Brightbill. The end. Guys, it just got very interesting. So make sure to like and subscribe, and I would say peace out, but look at this book. I'm going to be reading it tomorrow. After that, I will be making another book so we can finally read it, and it will be a fun series. So guys,